Hey, I'm back. I decided to start to share some of my journey with you. I actually met my twin flame in 2008. We both hired on. Had just gotten into a relationship with a soulmate, and I moved from the town that I was living in to probably an hour away into the town I'm in now. And my ex got me a job on at the place that she was working at. And a few months after the fact, uh, my twin actually applied for a job. Her mom worked there. So my twin applied for a job at the same place, and that's how we met. It was in 2008. And we developed a friendship along the way. And it was weird because we would fall apart. It's not really fall apart. The place where I worked at, we would get laid off a lot because of lack of work. So it was really common for people to be laid off at the beginning of the year. But it's like each time we would get laid off and we would come back, it's like our friendship would grow a little bit more each time. There was even, I think it was in 2010, it was like a year layoff because business was really bad. And my twin, I didn't know it because we didn't really talk a whole lot, but outside of work. But she went and applied for a job at another factory, and I did the same. And the factory was huge, and I was only there for 2 months. I'm not sure how long she was there, but it was weird because it was like a couple stories tall, and it was really big, but we both ended up on the second floor, like right across from each other in two different departments. And just now looking back, I can see how our journey it was like continuously guiding us together to connect. But but I didn't actually wake up to the fact that I was a twin until probably 2016. Well, I started to develop feelings for my twin probably around 2014, 2015, and I was still in the relationship with the ex. And I just wasn't happy. It wasn't fulfilling. It didn't feel like I was growing, and neither was my ex. And it just it was a very codependent relationship. So that's when I really started to go deep within myself, and I started talking to God, and I felt like, is there more to life than this? Like, this is love? It just didn't feel right. So I started talking to God every day, and what I didn't realize I was doing in that moment was I was actually calling my twin flame in. But it was like a subconscious thing that I was doing. I desired my one true love. So I started, the layoffs ended, and we all went back to work at the original place that we worked at. And me and my twin, we just started to become even closer, our friendship. And we have alignments on the lines where they don't do it anymore. You could pick your spot by seniority where you would work at. And it was pretty neat because, my twin picked a spot and I got to pick the spot right next to her. So we got to work together for 6 months. But so in 2014, I think that's when we worked together, but I started to develop feelings for her. And I kept pushing it away because I was with somebody else, at the time, and I didn't feel right, having feelings for what was my twin, and I didn't know that. But the feelings just kept getting stronger as time went on, and the connection just felt like it was growing deeper. And in the beginning of 2016, I finally ended it with my ex. Like, I felt God was calling me to, okay, this is the end of this, and it's time to cut loose, I guess you could say. So I let go of my ex, and I started to pursue my twin. But at the time, I actually reached out to psychics, and because I was in a relationship with a female, and my twin, as far as I had known, she'd always been with guys. So I didn't know exactly where her stance was as far as same-sex relationships. But as nervous as I was reaching out to psychics, and they were telling me that, this person is indeed your soulmate. And so I worked up enough nerve just to confess my feelings for my twin. And in the beginning, she seemed a little bit okay with it, kind of a little bit standoffish, but it felt like she accepted it. And our friendship continued, and probably, I want to say, about a couple weeks after, I could feel something had shifted, something changed, and almost like she was pulling away from me, and I started to freak out. And so I just, then I found out that she was going on a date with a guy, and it just really, it hurt me. So I confessed. I went even deeper with it, and I just told her that I was in love with her, and I confessed. I just poured my heart out to her. And she reciprocated that she didn't feel the same, and I was devastated. But now looking back at the time, though, it's almost like deep down in my heart, even though she said she didn't have those feelings, there was a part of me that knew that there was a deep connection there, and what she was saying wasn't true. That's something I forgot to mention too, is there was one time at work, I was watching her. She was on the end of another line, and I was on the opposite line, and I just looked up and I was just watching her work. And God told me, "Isn't she beautiful? This is my gift to you." And at the time, I was aware that God was speaking to me, but I still was in a lot of doubt. So, but when jumping back to that weekend when I told my twin how I felt about her, we both decided that it was best just to end our friendship. It was like a core decision. And it was the best decision at the time because, I had a lot of healing to do within myself. I wasn't aware of that at the time, but now looking back, I had a lot of upsets and codependency issues that I wasn't aware of. So, but there's 3 really cool things about me and my twin, and I'll make a later video and I'll go into detail. But one is my twin and I were exactly 20 years apart. We both have birthdays in December that are back to back, and she's 20 years older than me. The other thing is, even though we're both in female bodies, I'm the divine feminine energy and she holds the divine masculine energy. And the other thing is, I don't remember the other thing, but I will come back with a video later and I will go into detail on those 3 unique things about my twin flame journey. And if you've stuck it out and watched me this far, thank you so much, and I look forward to coming back and sharing more. So thank you. Bye.